Bonjour Year 11. Please pause the video now and make sure you've done your Low Stakes quiz if you haven't already. Thank you very much for that. Please get the date and title down. Our objectives today are to be able to discuss how we should help and protect the environment, to accurately use devrait or and on pourrait, and modal verbs in the conditional, and be able to use pour plus the infinitive. So we've got an example of pour plus the infinitive at the top here, in pour protéger, to protect. So we've seen that already, and we could stick that on in the front of any infinitives and really expand our vocabulary. Okay, as always, if you haven't got that down, pause here, because I'm going to move on to the next slide now. Okay, here we've got some examples of modal verbs. We must, we can, all that type of stuff. I should, etc. We stick the infinitive on the end of those, which I've got a list of there, the noun phrase that's going to go with it, and then I've added a little bit of a development at the end. Okay, so you know what to do. All I would like you to do at the moment is to tell me which of the verbs I've used and which are the nouns. Okay, so don't bother about the modal thing, just which verb and which noun. Okay, when I say the whole sentence. And note those down in your book in English. So, on doit utiliser les produits verts. On doit utiliser les produits verts. The answer, on doit utiliser les produits verts. Okay, so use and green products, that's what I said. Next one. On pourrait refuser les sacs en plastique. On pourrait refuser les sacs en plastique. And the answer, I said on pourrait and then refuse plastic bags. Okay, next one. Je devrais acheter les produits verts. Je devrais acheter les produits verts. And the answer, I should buy green products. Okay. Next one. On devrait apporter une bouteille d'eau. On devrait apporter une bouteille d'eau. And the answer, I said you should, but I said carry a bottle of water. Okay, so let's see if we can add or see if we can do the whole sentences now. So whether it's you must, should, etc. I may put a development on the end, don't worry about that. If you can get that down, even better. But most of the time I won't. Okay, so we're looking for the modal verb and the infinitive on the noun phrase in English in your book this time. So, on devrait éviter les sacs en plastique. On devrait éviter les sacs en plastique. And the answer, we should, or you should, avoid plastic bags. Okay. Next one. On doit éteindre la lumière. On doit éteindre la lumière. And the answer, you must turn off the light. Okay, if those of you watch Beauty and the Beast, lumière is the name of the candle. For that reason, because it means the light. Next one. Je devrais utiliser du papier recyclé. Je devrais utiliser du papier recyclé. And the answer, I should use recycled paper. Okay, next one. On pourrait apporter une bouteille d'eau. On pourrait apporter une bouteille d'eau. Okay, you could carry and a bottle of water. Okay, so this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to say one of these phrases, but I'm going to blank it out, and I want you to note down what I have said. Okay, just to make it a little bit simpler, I'm not going to use on doit and on peut. I'm only going to use devrait, should, pourrait, or could, and I might say on, or I might say je. So watch out for that. Okay. Okay, next one then. Je devrais refuser les sacs en plastique. Je devrais refuser les sacs en plastique. And the answer, je devrais refuser les sacs en plastique. Okay. So I should turn down plastic bags, or obviously refuse plastic bags. Okay, next one. Je pourrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. Je pourrais utiliser... No, sorry. Start again. Je pourrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. And the answer, I could carry a bottle of water. Okay, last one. Je pourrais utiliser du papier recyclé. Je pourrais utiliser du papier recyclé. And the answer, I could use recycled paper. Okay, so I just want to go through the pronunciations of these with some of you. If you just repeat after me. On doit, on peut, on devrait, on pourrait, je devrais, and je pourrais. Notice these AI bits at the end, AIS with the sh or AIT with the on. These are the would, the conditional endings. So je jouerai, for example, is I would play, and you've got all these, in English you've got these conditional words, should, could, would, those type as well, which all sort of rhyme, got similar endings like they have in French. After that, we're going to use the infinitive each time, so it's a version that ends in RE or ER or IR, depending on, one of those, which depending on which group of verbs they're in. Right. So next thing, I'm going to say the French, and you're going to write down the French. So, for example, if I say on devrait éviter les sacs en plastique, then that should be right. Sorry, yeah. So I'm going to say the French, and you just write down the French. So if I say on peut faire du compost, then you write down on doit faire du compost. Okay. Here we go. Je dirais éviter les produits jetables. Je devrais éviter les produits jetables. And the answer, I should avoid disposable products. Okay. Next one. Je pourrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. Je pourrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. And the answer, I could carry a bottle of water. Okay. Next one. On devrait récupérer l'eau de pluie. On peut récupérer l'eau de pluie. Okay, and I could have extended that with pour arroser le jardin if I wanted to. Okay, you should have written down on devrait récupérer l'eau de pluie. Okay, next one. Je pourrais utiliser du papier recyclé. Je pourrais utiliser du papier recyclé. And the answer, je pourrais utiliser du papier recyclé. Okay? Lovely stuff. Right, now I'm going to say one of these sentences. No, I'm not. I'm going to take the information away actually first, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to say one of these sentences and you write them down, okay? So, je pourrais utiliser les sacs en plastique. Je pourrais utiliser les sacs en plastique. Okay, and the answer, je pourrais utiliser les sacs en plastique. Okay, I could use plastic bag. Next one. Je devrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. Je voudrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. You should have je pourrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. Okay, so now some translations without the information there. Okay, I should refuse a bottle of water. I should refuse a bottle of water. And the answer, je devrais apporter une bouteille d'eau. Sorry, refuser. Sorry. je devrais refuser une bouteille d'eau. Okay, and the last one. We could buy green products. We could buy green products. And the answer, on pourrait acheter les produits verts. Okay, there we go. Next activity. Okay, so I've got another narrow reading here for you today. It's similar to the previous exercise, but rather than having everything the same this time, I've given you a number of questions. Okay, so what ideas do at least two people mention? Which is the most popular idea? Which is who is the odd one out and why? And what two people would get on best, and why do you think that? Okay, so I'd like you to answer each of those questions by reading those texts. I'm going to mark this and give you some feedback on it instead of sharing the answers with you now, because I think there's a variety of different answers you could give here. As long as you've explained your answer, then that would be absolutely fabulous. Okay, so please pause the video and do that now. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next answer, and here's the next exercise. We're just doing a translation into French now, so none of the complicated stuff or weird stuff. We're just going to try and translate that passage into French. Use the other stuff that you've used in your vocabulary, so in your lessons so far, and the stuff that's in your book as well. You may find that you need to look back in the narrow reading to find some of the phrases you need there as well. That's absolutely fine. You use the videos you see fit. Okay, so pause the video now, and then I'll run through the French with you. And here's the answer. Le plus grand problème pour moi, c'est la destruction de l'environnement. Pour protéger la planète, on devrait utiliser du papier recyclé et éviter les sacs en plastique. On pourrait boire l'eau de Robin aussi. Les ressources naturelles ne sont pas infinies. On devrait respecter la planète pour plus et utiliser les produits verts et les produits bio. Je dirais que je pourrais faire plus pour protéger l'environnement. Je pourrais boire l'eau de Robin quand je vais au collège et apporter une bouteille de la maison au lieu d'acheter une bouteille et utiliser les produits jetables. Okay, thank you very much for that. I'll make sure that's marked. Make sure you take a copy of your work and upload it to Google Classrooms. If any problem with that at all, just email it to me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next lesson. Thank you. Bye-bye.